Hi, Rebecca Taylor here, and I'm back with another planner video. I wanted to talk a little bit about what has been working for me and what hasn't been working for me. I know in my last planner video that I did for you, I was talking about how I was moving into the common planner for 2024, and I did do that, and a couple other things that I was using, and things have changed. It's now, we're getting towards the end of March, we're getting ready for Q2, and I have pretty much just changed up almost everything. So let's talk about what's different. So first of all, what was I doing? And so I had gotten this beautiful Moterm. It's the white leather, and you can see here I had that A5 common planner. This is the full year version. And then I was using this Stalogy A5, and I actually am still using this. This is for my writing. And so this is the current book I'm working on, which is The Last Nanny. And these are basically, all of my story notes, plot notes, character development, like all the things that are going into The Last Nanny. So I am still using this. I'm not going to show too much about it. It's mostly, just chapter breakdown, characters, that type of stuff. And that book is still in progress, doesn't come out until later this year. But so essentially I will still be using this notebook regardless. The other part was, so I had decided to use the common planner. I had the undated 6-month version for the last half of 2023. And I was pretty happy with that. And so I figured, I'll go ahead and invest in the full year version for 2024. I was really excited and ready to go, and thought I would love the Tomo River paper. And I just, by the end, really, I think it was probably by midway through February, I was trying to think of alternative options. And so you can see here, this is basically when I pretty much stopped using it. I do really love the goal layout page, and so I'll probably transcribe that into what I'm using now, because I do like to have those goals like front and center as I'm working on things, creating content, writing my books, that type of thing. And I love the idea of it. It has the someday, I think it's, 5 years? No, it's 1 year. It's someday, 1 year, half year, and then it breaks it down by quarter and month, and it's sort of what you do every week. And I like that aspect of it. I kind of, when I was doing brainstorming for my goals this year, I sort of kind of came up with a different way of conceptualizing them. So we can talk about that as well. But it was really useful. I like it. I have nothing bad to say about this planner. It was beautiful. I think in the end, it just didn't end up being for me. I do like at the back here that there's all this space for journaling, and you can see I did do a little bit of that. So I don't like to waste things, and so maybe this will just kind of turn into a journal for me, and a way to kind of sort of track what I did those days. I want to figure out a different way to use the calendar, but it's just not going to be in the day-to-day as a day-to-day planner. I think what ultimately I was trying to make myself love the vertical layout, and at the end of the day, I just really don't. I'm not a vertical planner. I just end up using it as like lists, which is essentially what I use my planners for anyway. When you get down into those weeks and the months, I use to kind of track, appointments and things like that. But this just ends up being big lists, and I just didn't feel it. And it was nothing more than that. So it's a perfectly lovely planner. I have nothing bad to say about it. Just in the end, I don't think it ended up being for me. And so we're putting this aside. So what am I doing? Well, we're going to skip over to this one just real quick, because I am still using that Erin Condren monthly that I started in. And this is what I'm using this for. Is I had taken on that contract job as a school psychologist it started in November, and basically it'll run through the end of this year. And I actually just let them know I will not be returning next year. I was really just kind of wanting to help them out because I knew that they were in a bind, but it's just not where I want to be focusing my time and energy. And I knew that even when I took the position, but it was for people in a school that I dearly care about. And so I wanted to try and help them out if I could. And I feel like I have done that, but it's just more than I can handle right now. And so I don't want to be spending as much energy as I am in that field anymore. However, I just have a lot of work to do for that. And so that's essentially what this planner is. There's a lot of stuff in here I can't share. So I'm just going to flip to May, because I don't have anything in here for yet. But I love Erin Condren, especially their monthly planners. I think I just love the size and the ability to kind of really spread out in them. How I essentially use this right now is on the month pages. I'm scheduling any and all IEP meetings that I have, 504 meetings that I have coming up, staff meetings, special education meetings, that kind of thing. And then here on these pages is where I'm listing out all of the kids that I have evaluations for, whether it's IEP evaluations or 504 evaluations. And then up here are any kind of special projects or big ticket items, like if I have to do a FBA, which is a functional behavioral analysis, or behavior improvement plan. Those are a little bit more in depth. And so I just kind of track my progress as far as where I am with those individual projects here. And then these pages that they have at the back of the monthly section for Erin Condren, this is basically, I use all of these, I just put the date, and I just daily task lists. I'm a big task list kind of girl. I've tried, sort of making myself be another kind of planner, but really at the end, I'm just a task list girl. I know what I need to get done, and I like having all of those lists each day, because like the stuff I don't get done, it still exists. And so as I'm flipping through these pages, I can still see, these are still things I'm working on for this month. It's not completed yet, for that week or whatever. And that just really seems to work for me. It's a little more free-form, but I don't lose things that way. And I also am able to use that as like a brainstorming tool. So like when I'm having those spinning, anxiety-riddled thoughts at night about stuff that's not done or what I have to get done, I love to be able to put this out and just get it out on paper and just making that list of these are the things I have to do. And it just really helps calm my mind down, and I'm able to just, go to sleep or not think about it right then, and get to it when I have the chance. So this was intended. That's how I was using it. That's how I'm continuing to use it. And so nothing new on this one. Okay, so then we get to the point of, all right, so what am I using for my main planner? Because I do still need one, even though I wasn't super happy, just me personally, in that the common planner. And so I had you can look back in my playlist a while ago. I had done an unboxing for a lot of Archer and Olive notebooks, and I believe these are the B5s. And I had several of these that I had ordered. And this one I had started to use back in 2023. I was just kind of using it as, I sort of tried starting using it as a planner and then a to-do list. And, then I was like setting goals in it and a little bit of journaling, but put it aside and didn't really do anything with it. Okay, so for some reason I was drawn to pulling this book back out. And even though I had started to use it in 2023, we know I don't like wasting things, and I always imagine at some point I will eventually get around to pulling it back out and using it. And that is essentially what I did. So I decided to basically turn this notebook into my rest of 2024 planner. And so when I was like, okay, I'm going to make the monthly spread, and I'm just going to keep all the monthly spreads together. So here we have March, April, and then after each one, I've left like a blank page. And this is just sort of basically a place where I can make notes on the month, or, what are some things I want to be kind of working on this month, or any brainstorm activities, or, for example, March, I'm teaching at Pikes Peak Writers Conference at the end of April. And so I will probably do some brainstorming in the back of here for those two particular courses that I'll be teaching, and making any updates to the actual material that I'll be sharing with the class. So I just sort of liked that came out that way. The other thing about this, when I had first done the March, I was like, oh, I just got all these new Sharpies. They were on sale at Costco, and I was super excited about it. And I was thinking that this paper was thick enough that it could handle that. And in case you're wondering, it's not. So the Sharpies will bleed through on the Archer and Olive paper. I didn't I didn't test it beforehand. I guess I could have, I should have, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. And so basically on the March spread, you can see it bleeds through onto the backside. And so then by April, I just started using, I think it's a 0.7 pen on these. And I sort of decided to switch up the color for every month. So there's the May, there's the June, and I went ahead and I created these all the way through the end of the year, because I like to have a full year's worth of monthly calendars, because, you know, when you have those things that come up later in the year and you have to be able to jot them down in your calendar, those dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, those things that are kind of far out, I want to have a place to be able to put them. So I have all my monthly spreads for all the way through December. And then basically after this is when I started putting in weekly spreads. And as you can see, I went back to doing a horizontal layout, because that is essentially, it's what I prefer. I prefer it. I like doing a horizontal layout, and that's just sort of what I created. And so I did have enough paper to go ahead and get those created all the way through to the end of the year. And I mean, as DIY as this is, and it's not, you know, it's not fancy, it's a notebook, it's very functional. I have really been enjoying using this. I don't know, and we'll see what kind of happens for next year. I have a lot of those Archer and Olive notebooks left over, and who knows, maybe that ends up being what those get used for. I just create my own planners every month. But you can see even with that, I have quite a few pages left in the back of this book, and then I've just been kind of journaling things at the back of this. And so I have been finding, sometimes you have a planner and it brings you some joy and you just really like it, and you can envision, it's something I could envision keeping and having on the shelf, and looking back on in years to come, and sort of seeing like, what was I doing, what was I thinking, what was sort of happening. And so I don't know, this has been making me feel very happy, and so I'm really glad I switched into it, and I will continue to use this. I think if I was going to set up a whole year one next year, I would probably do a little bit like they do at the beginning of the Common Planner, and have like the whole goal set out there. And I had done some brainstorming, maybe I'll share that, about goals, and really kind of like long term, like starting as far out as like, okay, you're on your deathbed, what does your life look like, and working my way back from there, and just kind of journaling about a lot of that. And it was really insightful, and there was like a lot of things that I guess I sort of realized that I wanted to work towards, that kind of came out while I was working on that. And so I think I would like to build something along those lines into a planner that I use, and then really kind of revisiting that degree of specificity, for where you'd like your life to go in that planner that I carry with me every day. So anyway, very happy. We'll see if I'm still as happy the next time we do one of these updates. Okay, and so last but not least, I was just having this urge for, I wanted something, well, a couple things. I have a lot of those, I've used these in the past quite a bit, these monthly planners from Erin Condren, and I always get them with a lot of the extra pages in the back, and of course they already come with the extra pages at the back of the monthlies. And I found that a lot of times there was many of those pages I didn't actually end up utilizing. So sorry about that. It's my dogs are barking. We're gonna have to pause and come back. Okay, I'm back. I think crisis averted. I don't know, probably a neighbor dared to walk by the front of our house or something like that. So, but anyway, I have all this paper. I really love that Erin Condren paper, and I always kind of just hated that it was sitting in these planners and kind of getting wasted. And I'm not really one that's interested. I know some people will Franken plan them, and they'll take the rings out and, create a whole new sort of Erin Condren planner with the rings. And I was like, I didn't really want to do that. But I have this this Notique cover that I had ordered, I don't know, a couple years ago. And obviously you can see it's this is the classic Happy Planner size. I think I was in one of those for a minute, and or I think it was the year I decided I would try having multiple planners. and like 7 different planners or something like that for every different function in life, and it didn't work out for me. But I had this cover, and it's a beautiful cover. It's, you know, quite heavyweight. I just didn't really have anything to use it for because I wasn't really using anything in that classic Happy Planner size. And I also had these covers. I have several of these Happy Planner covers from that era when I was trying multiple planners, and I don't like to throw them away because it just seems wasteful. So I was thinking, all right, I want to use that paper. I want to use these covers. I'm not crazy about the rings, the Happy Planner rings, and so I went onto Jane's Agenda on Etsy, and I ordered. These are the big 2-inch rings. You can see they're quite large. Because I was thinking this might end up being a big guy, and what I envisioned this being is a sort of not a planner or really like a journal, but more like a vision. It's like a vision journal. And so in it, as it's not really anything that's, you know, happening, I guess, reality based for me right now. Like, this is purely just allowing your mind to flow, sort of that manifesting thinking, and, you know, sometimes doing scripting as if, you know, writing, my life as if these things are already in place, you know, just sort of doing that. And I think it's just kind of a combination of, you know, what would I like to see happen in my life? And then, you know, sort of this idea of journaling about that, but then also utilizing it as space to journal in a way that I guess is not necessarily true right now. And so I don't really want to do that in a journal that is my actual journal that I use, because I want that to be sort of like a record or a document of my actual life as it is. Whereas this is more of a what if life, or, you know, what could be life. And I just really love the idea of this just being it's just very like, you know, fantastical. And so I wanted it to be beautiful. And that's what I was working on. I wanted something, just a really pretty space to sort of put those thoughts and ideas down out in the world. So I ordered these dividers. And it's not necessarily that I want it to be like a planner, but I did want to divide up what I was kind of journaling about by the months. Now, as you can see, I still don't know, I might fix this, I don't know. I had cut all these pages down to size. So all of these pages are from those Erin Condren, all those leftover pages that I had in those, 8.5 by 11 size Erin Condren planners that I had. And so essentially I ripped all those pages out of those leftover unused parts of the planners that I had, and I cut those pages down to size to fit the same size as the cover. Okay, so you can see where my mistake is coming now. And then I have a hole punch for this, and so I punched the holes for these. And so I love that. Well, then I ordered these beautiful dividers from the same place I got the rings from, and these came from Jane's Agenda again, and I just thought they were so pretty. However, as you can see, the dividers, and this is how all planners are, right, are smaller than, of course, the size of the outer cover. And I cut the pages to be the same size as the outer cover because I was like, oh, I can utilize all that space. It doesn't have to be smaller. And that would be the case if I hadn't got these dividers. I don't really know how big a deal is. I mean, so like these dividers are not going to show at the end of the pages, but I don't really think I care about that. I think I like more the idea of having all the extra space for the journaling and the kind of scripting and manifesting, that sort of thing. So I might just leave this alone. And then, I know, of course, that this will be divided up by months, but this isn't the type of thing I have to flip to easily like you would with a planner, because it's just for, it's just for journaling. And so I think I'm okay with it. We're going to leave it for now. And so I've already started writing in here, and I just thought this cover was really perfect. Your voice has a purpose. And of course, this will, predominantly be about, how I sort of see my writing career progressing over the next, several years. And really, I think aligning this with what I put down in those long-term goal plans that I have that, they start all the way out with, okay, like you're on your deathbed, and then, okay, so then 30 years from now, where do you want to be? In 20 years from now, where do you think you'll be in 10 years? And really kind of dialing that all the way back to you know, where am I currently? And I just, it was a really fun way to kind of think about goals and the connection between those things. And okay, so what are some things that you'll do this year that will kind of meet that first step, and thinking of like your life goals as this stepping stone. And you're not really even just thinking about only career goals, but I'm thinking about like, okay, well, where would I like my husband and I to be in our relationship? Where would I want to be with my children? You know, what does our life look like? And it, you know, of course, things change and other people have their own ideas about, you know, what life will look like. But it is also fun just to kind of, you know, think in those ways, and then also making sure that you're doing things today that are going to, you know, maybe align you with at least where you think you'd like to be as of today. Who knows, by the time I'm 65, I might have very different ideas about all of that. And so essentially that is where we are. We're getting, of course, ready to like move into Q2. It's the end of March right now. It's kind of hard to believe how fast it's gone by. I am, just as an update on the book, I think I'm at about 75,000 words for The Last Nanny. And so that is very exciting. And of course, this notebook is all about that. And I recently also, I have this large board. I should maybe do a video about that. And it's this giant cork board that I bought at like a school supply store. Was going out of sale, and they had this enormous cork board. And I bought it several years ago, and I covered it in fabric. And I've used it for a variety of different things, but right now I have it kind of separated out into sort of like managing projects. And it's, you know, things I want to do this week. What am I doing today? What's completed? And it's not really like a Kanban board, because I'm not doing that quarterly planning and that kind of thing. It's I think I read an article on, I think it's called, is it Scrum method, which of course I think is really much more for the tech industry or whatever. But I liked the way that sort of laid stuff out, and so I kind of modeled this after that. So maybe I'll do a video about that. But anyway, what I have is all of my note cards for the rest of this book, the scenes that are going to carry me through to the end of The Last Nanny. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited for that to be coming out later this year. I'll probably doing some more videos about that and what you can expect. But one more thing I wanted to really share. So the other thing I've been getting, and oh my gosh, these are so cute and I love them, is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Charming Planner. You probably are, because she has the cutest things. And so I was just going to share some charms that I had gotten from her recently. These ones I got a little while ago. This one is, oh my gosh, so cute. I don't know if you can see that. It says, "Actually, I can" on it. And it's like sort of a big paper clip. She makes beautiful charms if you're into that kind of thing. So this one, because of course I also work as a flight attendant, so I had to get the one with the airplane, the passport, and the little compass on it. Super cute. I love it. This one, because of course my family is English. I have grown up always a huge tea drinker, and I just thought this was adorable. It's a little tea set, and then the little cups. And this is actually, you know, like, it's not plastic. So I think she does really just sort of beautiful charms, and so super cute. But you might have seen those ones before in other videos I've done, but this one I have been waiting for, because I've seen her posting on it on her Instagram, and I've never seen it for sale on her store. And I think I had asked her, somebody else had asked for a while, and she finally had them back in, and I ordered it the minute I saw it, because I was like, oh, those are going to run out. But it's oh my gosh, look at that. It's a little magnifying glass, and it actually works. It actually magnifies stuff. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in the camera, but it actually magnifies things. So I just thought that was super cute. And so I will be attaching those to my planners. So maybe you'll see those in there for our next video. But again, the stuff I have today, shout out for, of course, Charming Planner, and she's got an Etsy store. She's also on Instagram. I have the inserts from Jane's Agenda, as well as the large, and those were metal rings that I got from her. They're really beautiful, great quality. And then of course, these notebooks are from Archer and Olive. And let's not forget to Common Planner, even though it didn't end up working out for me. Honestly, it is a beautiful planner. I think it's great, especially for people who really like those, the Hobonichi. And if you like planning with that type of paper in that way, there's nothing to not love about those planners. They're really beautiful. I just think I'm not a super fan of the Tomoe River paper, and it's just a personal thing. Anyway, that's all I have for my latest planner update. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. That certainly helps with the algorithms and popping my videos up there to the top, and hopefully gaining some new viewers. Anyway, thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.